This is a bar graph. In this bar graph, we can see the average calorie intake per person in 8 different countries in the year 2003. So we have classified these 8, we can classify these 8 countries based on the average calorie intake their citizens, the citizens calorie intake. So that's why I have to see the highest point here. It's around 3,500 calories. And now we have the lowest, it's around 1,700 calories. So this is the highest and the lowest point. We have something in between. So between the highest and the lowest, we do have some other data, but I am going to classify this thing easy in one way. That is, the highest point is 3,500 calorie. The lowest is 1,700, that's 1,700, and we have set a median here, so that is 2,500. So from this point to this point, I can group to one paragraph, and from this point to this point, I can group another paragraph. So this is the way I am going to frame. So I have to frame a clear-cut introduction in the beginning. It should say what exactly the picture is, and it should say, it should say what exactly the picture. It's a bar graph. What it shows the average calorie intake per person in 8 countries in 2003. So we cannot copy this particular thing, and we need to write something different here. And we have to say in the overview the whole picture. So first, let's see what the introduction is, and then we move on to the overview, and then the 2 paragraphs what we have seen here. First, let's see the introduction. Okay. So we have framed the introduction and the overview for this particular bar chart. So the bar chart here, the given bar chart classifies 8 countries on the basis of calorie intake by their citizens in 2003. So it illustrates, it gives you an idea that how these 8 countries differed in the calorie intake. So this bar graph is classifying 8 countries on the basis of calorie intake by their own citizens in 2003. I'm not telling that 8 countries, name of 8 countries are there: United States, India, New Zealand, Somalia, China, Spain, Mexico, because you are going to say that in the coming paragraph, so I don't need that. But and then the overview picture. Overall, it is clear that the pattern of intake was either average or below average in most countries. So the average calorie intake, so it goes by around, this is the median that I have marked it before. That's 2,500 per day. So this is an average calorie a person needs per day. So 2 countries we have, Spain and Mexico, they have the average, and we do have India, Somalia, China, and Indonesia. So these 4 countries, they stood below the average. So these 2 countries, they are in the average. So you can see most of these countries are either in this average or below average group. Only two countries we can say it's above average, that is the USA and New Zealand. So this is the picture. So it was either average or below average in most countries. So that is the overview. Instead, most of the students, they go with the highest is this thing and the lowest is this thing. That is not an overview, that is a specific data. If I say this is the highest and this is the lowest, I cannot tell that is the overview because you have missed these things there. So I have not missed right now. I have included all these countries here in this overview. I have not mentioned only about United States. I have not mentioned only about Indonesia. I mentioned all the countries here. So most of the countries are either in this thing and this thing. So we can say some countries are outside this thing. So I have covered, the story is covered. So let's see how we can say the above average and below average group the classification is done like that. So what we have to do here in this particular task one. So I'm not going to complete this thing right now live, but I can explain right now. So the first paragraph, as I told, you have said it is either average or below average in most countries. So first you have to say what is above average. So these two are above average. So the average is 2,500. So two countries are there above average, United States and New Zealand. So need to say that. And what is there up to the 2000 level, that is to 2,500 to this level. So we can say the level is the average thing. Sorry, I can say the average things are, so I can go like that. So that is above average these two countries, average these two countries, and now the below average we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the things that we can see here. Classification number 1, in the first paragraph you are going to write these two things. The second paragraph you are going to write these two things, the average. In the third paragraph you are going to write 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a better classification. 1, 2, 3, small paragraphs. We have another type, we can say in another way. If you see, you can classify the range 3,500 to 2,500. This is one range, and under this thing, whatever, so we can one paragraph, the second paragraph. So this is also an ideal presentation. So as per our thesis, our title, so we can say either average or below average in most countries. You can go in either way. This is better way. This is also a way. So it's your wish, and it is your convenience. Based on your convenience, you can say which presentation is better. Thank you. I hope you have understood this thing.